Did you know companies are expected to spend $1.5 billion in ad revenue through podcasts by 2023? That's right. Podcasting is the future and we're still very early. The tech is better than ever and the barrier to entry is lower than ever. That's why I created my No Bullshit Guide Podcasting for Beginners ebook to help you get started. Visit blackisnewrich.com to get yours.
So in the book, there's my worst traumatic moment is when I was turning 6, where I witnessed, not giving away too much, but I witnessed my best friend's mom that day or afternoon murdered in front of us as a lesson by her common law. And his words exactly was, this is what happens to women when they lie or talk about their men.
Everything black on black. If I studied that facts on facts.
Welcome back to another episode of Black is New Rich podcast. We are on episode 35. Today we got a very special guest. I would consider her a serial entrepreneur, and she comes from a real place and has a real story. However, I do not want to mess up her intro, so please can you introduce yourself?
First and foremost, Corey, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Your presence is actually a present for me.
Thank you.
So I am Kamelah Blair.
Yes.
Author of 8, we'll say 9 because we're here.
9
By the time this airs will be 9.
Wow. 9 books.
Maybe 10.
10. Mm-hmm. So right now you're writing like crazy.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. So you're the author of 10 books. I know from before you started writing, you were a serial entrepreneur. What were you into?
So I still have all my businesses. So first is OUR, which is Our Unique Rooms.
Okay.
So that's an interior design.
Oh, nice.
I have a Royalty Helping Hands, which is my nonprofit organization. And then I have CEO Approach, where I used to teach. Well, I still teach the kids to do like stocks and stuff like that.
Amazing. Okay.
And then definitely COJ BOOKZ, which is the publishing company. And then my company, yes, I have a company in America, which is KB Consultants.
Okay. What is that one about?
So it's basically business consulting. So then is there a button?
no, we don't have.
So this is, no one knows about this. So we dropped it here. Like first it's BBB. So it's Business Beyond Borders with KB Consultants. So Canadians can actually open a business across the border. They just don't know how to do it. So
I'm going to need you.
You're first in line. There.
Okay. So, you have a book in Walmart.
3 books.
3 books in Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe the big one?
which would be the first one, Chronicles of Jane, the Jane print.
Okay.
That was the first big person to pick up my book. That book was Walmart.com.
Oh, wow.
So funny to say that Walmart.ca never took it up, but Walmart.com did.
Okay. I want to get into the book, but I'm going to bring it back. Before we get into all what you're doing now, I want to bring it way back. Where does this journey start for you?
This starts from about 5 to 6 years old in the heart of my city, Jane Finch. So it's most likely a traumatic situations that happen from about Jane and it's not Chichue, but we say Chichue. It's Thithue.
Yeah.
And then right up to Jane and Finch.
Okay. And how was it like growing up? Because I always heard about it. I've been in Saga all my life, but I've always heard just, certain stories and stuff like that. How was your experience?
So my experience of growing up in that community is different from what the world perceives it to be. Jane and Finch is such a tight-knit community, is that everybody in the community helped raise me. Yes, there was a lot of crime. I witnessed a lot in Saga, but I ain't a snitch, so just leave it at that. But there was some rough moments, definitely, and there were some traumatic moments as well. But again, I wouldn't take it back because it made me who I am today. Okay.
So you mentioned traumatic moments. When you were growing up, did you know that those were traumatic moments?
No, I didn't. So in the book, there's my worst traumatic moment is when I was turning 6, where I witnessed, not giving away too much, but I witnessed my best friend's mom that day or afternoon murdered in front of us as a lesson by her common law. And his words exactly was, this is what happens to women when they lie or talk about their men. Yeah.
And today that's still a vivid image.
Still vivid. Not as much as it used to be, because then I know our culture doesn't believe in therapy, but I went to therapy in 2016, and it's a bit better, but I have my days.
Yeah. So it's funny that you said that you went to therapy and our culture doesn't recognize therapy for what it is, because the last couple of episodes I interviewed a therapist. I interviewed someone who did marriage counseling and a therapist, and these people they're just saying how beneficial therapy has been for their life. Would you say the same?
Absolutely. And I would encourage, where's my camera? Yeah. I would encourage everybody, if you can, and there's affordable therapists. So if you can, trust me, it is life-changing.
Okay, so when did you actually recognize that, okay, you know what, maybe I need to go for a little bit of help?
Flashbacks and blacking out. And then my anger was, so there's things that I used to hear, there's certain sounds, sound of a gunshot, sound of the door slamming, and like yelling triggers me. And then I just black out and I really don't know what's going on. And this can happen for about 5 to 10 minutes and I don't know anything.
And you can't recall what happened.
And I don't recall. I just remember hearing or something triggers me and then that's it.
Wow. And then memory gone, everything.
Gone.
Geez. So then how did you come to the point where you're like, you know what, let's check this out?
I actually did it because I knew that if I didn't, it was getting worse over the years. So 30 seconds turned into a minute turned into 2 minutes, true. 2 minutes turned into 10. And I'm like, okay. And then I have my kids at home too. So if I hear something, if my door's open and I hear something loud and I block out, in 10 minutes, something can happen to my children upstairs. So I just know.
Well, have you ever been told what you're doing in that blackout moment?
Yes, it's in the book. Actually, it's in book 2.
Okay, sorry. I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah, but in a nutshell, it's usually crying, yelling, screaming.
Really?
Yeah.
But
I don't remember any of it. I just come to, and then I probably like be in tears. I'd be like, I don't cry because girl tough. I'm gonna cry.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had to put an end to it.
So did that scare you? Sorry.
Oh, it's terrifying because what if I'm in public? So I don't really leave my house a lot.
Okay.
First of all, I didn't trust people then.
Yeah.
And I didn't trust myself around a lot of people, so I just don't do it.
Where would you say you're at with it now?
Oh, I haven't had a blackout in 4 years.
Oh, amazing. Congrats.
Thanks.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been an entrepreneur for a long time, right? And you picked up writing books in the pandemic?
So I know a lot of people might be mad about this, but I love the pandemic.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I was so busy being a mother, being an aunt, being a friend, being a sister. And then, of course, I haven't had a job for over 10 years. So I really depend on, what I do, maybe an entrepreneur or a momtrepreneur or an entrepreneur.
Hey, okay.
Did you get that? So me having to do so much, it was slowed me down where it was. So during middle school, my teacher used to say, write a book. During college, write a book. Even my therapist used to say, you should just write a book.
Where were they getting this from? Why did they say
because that? My journaling, during, I don't know your age, but I know back in my day, we had to journal. So journaling, and then through college, it was like creative writing.
Oh, yeah.
I got me some marks there. Right? So they were like, write a book. And then during the pandemic, I had so much time. So I just wrote the damn book. And nobody knew about book 1. So I did everything in my room or in my basement with the kids in the house because everybody was home. And then it was, I invited my friends to say, let's just get together. It was really hard because it was like, how am I going to narrow down 12 friends? Because we're only now 15.
Okay.
And then I had to invite the children and my friends and family.
Yeah.
I just told them, just dress in blue and white and come, let's just chill. And then I just introduced the book at 8:15.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what were their first reactions?
Some were in tears, some were excited, but they were all like, congratulations. And to be honest, Corey, since then, I've had the same friends for 20 years and more. And now they're like, okay, once they read the book, they're like, okay, now I get it. And even for myself is now I get it. And I'd honestly say this is 8:15 that day, July 23rd, 2020. It's like a release came over me. Like, when you're carrying like a bag of milk, a bag of potatoes, a bag of rice. Yeah. Like when you're a pack barrel, so everything off. And I just let it go in that moment. And from that day, I haven't been the same person.
Wow, amazing. Congrats.
Thank you.
I think that's super big. It seems like, or I hear a healing process.
Yes, definitely.
And probably during you writing, it was therapeutic.
Exactly. So actually, when you say that, is one of my mottos for my publishing company is put your pain to paper. You might find your true purpose and it will be therapeutic.
Okay, interesting. So I want to know, like, before you're doing all this business entrepreneur endeavors and you're super busy, would you say that you haven't found your purpose until you started writing?
totally agree. So I even had a hairdressing business, and I kind of do hair to save my life, but not, well, kind of, sort of, but not to the levels, right? So I was always a hands-on person, and a great storyteller. Like I said, in going through school at creative writing or English, I used to breeze. So I strongly believe that, I like to say numbers, but the coinage went up when I started to write.
Really?
And I enjoy it. So I always tell people, when you enjoy it, when you're passionate about something, you'll continue to do it. Even though I'm still passionate about interior design, because I still have my companies, but writing always comes first.
So I'm 33. So for the people that haven't necessarily found their purpose yet, and they're getting confused, frustrated, and they don't know where to go, what advice do you have for them? So
first of all, just talk to God. Don't do things that are trending. I find that people in this world are just, oh, Corey's doing podcasts, I'm going to do a podcast. And then they say Corey and Gucci, I'm proud. And then you'll say, Corey's making it, he's up there. No, because it's not meant for you. It's not meant for you. You're really going to waste your time. And then I believe in writing things down. Sometimes God talks to you, but in the morning or in a dream or something. So I always say that note takers are money makers. Just go for what you like. That earlier.
I like that one.
I'm going to have to copyright that.
That was good.
Yeah, so just go for what your heart's telling you, not for what the world, because the world's not even the same. It could change tomorrow. So if you do something that is passionate, just think about it. Just take a day or two, or even a week, even a month or a year, and just think about. I always tell even my kids is track your movements, because you never know that.
Elaborate that.
Yeah, to track your movements is like for the day. What did I do for today? And then if you notice a pattern that you've done the same thing for the 7 days, 10 days, or a month or 30 days, just narrow down on that one thing that you did in it. Yes, come on now.
Jeez, that's game. Okay. That's game. Okay. So one thing, tell me, you grew up in a certain area, right? So you've seen trends and you've seen certain types of people, right? But here's what I think. I think there's a lot of people living a certain lifestyle that have transferable skills that they don't even know it yet to like the business world, real business world.
Definitely.
What would you say to those people that are watching this podcast that want to make the jump to, let's say, we'll say legal life, and what would you say to them to make the jump? First,
never ask why. It's why not? And a lot of people, I like that you said it that way, as I was going to say it, is I know a lot of hustlers, they have the funds, but they don't know where to apply it. And I would just tell them is just take a step back from your environment too. Because the people around you don't only care about a big chain and the big car, but they're broken inside. And if you just take a step back from that, there's so much potential in the world. You don't even have to go to college. Like, college is your smartphone can't be smarter than you. Come on, your smartphone is university, college, and you have a PhD. So sometimes it's just the movers and the shakers. They're moving the wrong direction. It's just like sieve it out and just go for it. Like, don't think. I think some people even overthink what's really in front of them. Some people have the funds and some people don't. Some people have the mindset and they're not encouraged. Sometimes your environment is not saying, Corey, what are you doing? Well, you're on podcast. Yo, let's go on the street. Let's go play ball.
Yeah.
And if you just say no, then that's a turning point for you.
Interesting. So you deal with the corporate world as well, right?
Yes.
How do you remain yourself and still talk their lingo?
In the book, so I'm not afraid to say this, I have 101 fraud charges. That's my past. This is because I can turn it on and off. And I could read a room. I know when I came in here is, we can't just lean back and do what I do. You guys are not uptight. So you just have to it's just take what you know. Or I like to say, take what you know from the streets and apply it to Wall Street. Read the room.
Okay. Okay. I like that. So let's talk about the process of writing your book. Because, for example, my mom, she's been telling me for years that she wants to write. So for the person that doesn't know where to start or how to publish a book, where are they starting tomorrow?
So first thing I tell any new client of mine or friend or yourself or your mom is think about 3 titles. Think about your characters. Now I tell people think about the characters because you can get a few lawsuits.
Oh, true.
Right? So you might want to change the characters away, names from before. So when you come to a publishing company like myself, that won't set it back. Because that's going to take a lot of time. For some people is if you have a story, your life is your family consists of 30 or 40 people and you got to change all 30, 40 names while we're doing it, it's going to set us back about 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
So then do that first. Think of your color concept of what you want your book cover to look like.
Mm-hmm.
So the process is this. The way we do it at COJ BOOKZ is it's simply a recording. We don't have to be in the same space.
Okay.
So you record and then I'll go back and edit it. Then you have to
record with audio?
With audio. So I can call you. We'll set a time between 1 hour and 2 hours.
Okay.
2 or 3 days a week or whatever works in your schedule. Mm-hmm. We record it. I edit it.
Oh, wow.
I send it back to you.
Like a manuscript.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's called. Hey, Corey. So your manuscript comes back to you because we could have talked about something and you didn't really want to say that anymore. So this is a time for you to take it back because I'm not the writer. I'm just helping it get done. So if you said Corey jumped over the moon, you're like, well, I never want to know Corey. No, everybody knows that Corey can't jump. This is the opportunity to take it back.
Okay.
So I always get people a rough timeline of between 3 to 6 months for your book to be published and on the shelves.
From idea to shelves.
To shelves.
And how did you get yourself on Walmart.com? Like, what's that process like?
Walmart.com was based off of just faith. I tell any author and a writer is consistency. Mm-hmm. Even with social media, it's consistent. So in the last 2 weeks, I was verified by Google.
Oh.
And that's just consistency. So I've been in Jamaica newspapers. I've been in the English newspapers. I've been in, I don't even know Wisconsin, if that's even, this sounds like a Whisker sauce.
Wisconsin?
Yeah, something like that. Sounds like a Whisker sauce, whatever that means too. But I've been in those newspapers. And I always tell people that once you start, even for yourself, is put a Google alert. You never know who's watching.
Oh, sorry, can you break that down? What is a Google alert?
So Google alert it's basically you telling Google is anytime you see my name, company, or anything associated with me, you tell me that it came up. So when Walmart came up, I actually missed it in an email. Okay. And then I just kept on going back. And then it just keeps on happening and happening and happening and happening until I ended up in Barnes & Noble's chapters. Wow. And the last time I checked, it was over 90 bookstores worldwide.
Worldwide?
Yeah.
What's the most surprising country or region that you're like, whoa, my book's in here?
Taiwan.
Taiwan?
Yeah. Google it.
Wow.
Taiwan. And I'm like, I don't even know what this, I had to go to Google Translate and translate what they were saying. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. People think that I'm humble with it, but I don't know how to be that excited. I just feel that when those things happen, it pushed me to go harder.
Yeah. Geez. So is the physical copy in Taiwan?
Yes, it's in a Taiwan bookstore.
Oh, that's crazy. Congrats. Congrats. Okay, so take me to the legal sides of it. Like, how does that work out? Like, do you need your own lawyer? How does that work? So
some people, it depends on what you're writing about. Okay. So what I wrote about, it's my family and myself. I did write about a couple of my charges, but I've been cleared. I got me a good lawyer. Okay. Get you a good lawyer. So I'm able to speak about it, right? Yeah. Definitely if you're speaking about something and there's time that has passed, sometimes time has passed, but still sitting on officer someone's case file. So you might want to contact a lawyer at that time, definitely. True. And definitely if you're talking about other people's religion or sexuality, you just want to cover the bases. Sometimes be careful. Just be really careful, especially these days.
Okay. Jeez. So what's the process? Okay. For example, you said you have to be careful for saying so much things. Like, who's looking over your work?
Haters.
Elaborate.
So definitely, I spoke about mostly my family. Mm-hmm. So they came for me.
Really?
They tried. Really? And I always say this, and I say to my clients, even you can come, you have 3 choices at this point. You can sue me. Mm-hmm. Nice try. Good luck. Or you can take me to court. Mm-hmm. Well, same as suing me. Mm-hmm. Or I will front half of it, the bill. You write your own story and you tell your side since you think my side is incorrect. But I'm not going to have it because it's out there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you mentioned something interesting. You had 101 charges, right?
Yep.
What was the last incident that you said, you know what? I'm done with this.
I ended up in jail for altogether 3 months for something I didn't even do.
And that was it?
Guilty by association. Google it. Okay. Actually, it's there, but I've done so much. It's buried so deep.
Yeah, because I did my Googles. I did my research. That didn't pop up for me.
Yeah, it's far. I'll tell you that one. It's far, but okay. It there. I beat the charges afterwards, but I end up spending. It was cryptic.
Okay.
Project Cryptic, I was arrested in Project, and when it first happened in the day, I wasn't arrested, but by the evening, afternoon, I was arrested, just guilty by association. So at the time, it was one of the Toronto's biggest raids, and I ended up in it. So I ended up spending between getting bail, not getting bail, getting bail, not getting bail, breaching to consecutively like 3 months of.
What was your thought process during that whole time?
In the beginning, I was pissed. But then, you know what? I can honestly say, shout out my cellie. I got time to think. And like you said, that was like, nah. I don't even want to associate. And that was my stepping back. And I've never looked back.
Where were you living at the time?
Driftwood.
Okay.
I was up top.
Okay.
That's where I was. And I can't. I can't. I love where I came from. But I had to take a step back from it because it was holding me down. And then you get labeled like, oh, you're up top, or you're Driftwood, or you're Jane and Finch. And again, I say in my book, is Jane is not a person; it's just a place. Like it's not. I beat the statistics.
Yeah.
Look at me now.
Yes. Okay. So for the people that are having trouble leaving their area, what do you have to say?
You know, Corey, it's funny you said that. I met someone who's a teenager and they haven't left their block.
Why?
And I'm like, I asked him the same thing, bro, so why? He's just like, he doesn't know anything beyond those walls. I'm like, you could do just so much you can do inside, but the world is bigger than your block. And it's, I won't call the block's name, but I'm like, is that your last name?
Yeah.
It's not yours. It wasn't yours for when the old elders were wearing troop tracksuits and Kango hats and they were selling mad dope. And it's not yours now when you guys are doing, I don't know what you guys are doing, but just, again, it's the environment. Your environment, I'll tell you this is, yes, I lived in the hood and I don't regret it. But I have 2 boys and there was no way I was allowing them to grow up in the hood. Not saying if you do, you do. But trust me, when your kids or your eyes are open to different things, you think differently, you move differently. You act differently. You even speak differently. And sometimes your drip could, change up a couple.
Okay. So you have a NFT book company. Yes?
Yes.
Let's talk about it. What is it about? How did it come about? What does that even mean?
So a lot of authors don't know this. So this is game. Is when you have a book. So NFTs is a non-fundable token. Everybody, well, some people know that.
Yeah.
So it's art. So when you're an author and your books are sold on Barnes and Noble's, Amazon, or any platform, technically they pay you when a book is sold, right? When your book is an NFT, everything is yours. So if you buy this, so my NFT is actually book 1, book 2 mixed together with a missing chapter.
Why is there a missing chapter?
Because it wasn't published in book 1 or book 2. So that makes it now specialized that if you didn't get it, you didn't get it. And it's a hardcover.
Oh, wow.
So my NFT comes with it being a hardcover. There's a missing chapter that no one knows. There's only 30 of them. It's unique to the T.
So that's a real NFT.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
That's
and
smart.
it's sold out.
Oh, wow. So it's
I don't even have it.
Oh, you don't even have it?
I don't even have it.
Jeez, that's smart. That's game.
That is more than game. And it happens and it works. They just have to, again, your smartphone can't be smarter than you. But yeah, the NFT world for authors, it works. It works for a lot of niches. You just have to figure out, like my NFT, it comes with a handwritten letter as well. So it's like, what are you giving back?
It's an experience.
And definitely what the experience is for you owning the remix.
True. So take me through a publishing company because I don't really know much about it. So do you host other authors' books within your company? How does it work?
No, I don't. COJ BOOKZ does not hold any royalties. So you publish a book with me. All I'm going to do after we're complete is like guide you. I do a 30-day of guiding you through for top tier marketing. That meaning is I have ties to Jamaica publishing. Like I said, I was in the Gleaner. I was on like 3 or 4 morning shows in Jamaica. I have ties to PR in the States. As you said, I was in Worcester. What did you call it?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Alaska, a lot. I think it was like 40 different newspapers printed across America. So I don't take royalties, so I don't withhold your book. And if you want marketing, I do offer that marketing service as well. If you want your books in Barnes and Noble knows me. They know when they hear. that typing 5 a.m. because I'm up at 5 a.m. and they see COJ Books. They're like, oh, her. Who is it now? So yeah, I've built myself, my publishing company, where I'm able to offer, if you publish with me, or if you have an existing book and you want your accolades, because you need accolades, right? Being an author, some people just want to write and then let go of the book. And I tell them, but you want to be on Google. You want to have that 3-4 steps of Google. You probably want to even get verified by Google as you're an author. So I offer that service. So publishing is just editing, book cover, and then distribution. Distribution is actually so KDP is actually Amazon, and Amazon offers distribution, and it's not as guaranteed. Okay. It can happen. Okay. But you probably won't hit those major bookstores that are worldwide. So I ended up in Walmart.com from Amazon. So it does happen. It took a while, but it happened. I ended up in about 25 bookstores through KDP, which is Amazon. Okay. And then I just researched, took a few classes, ended up taking a writing course, and then just soared from there. So it can happen. So publication, there's steps to it, but I don't leave you. I give you that 30 days afterwards to say, okay, this is what you need to do, but I'm not going to force you. Yeah. Like, Corey, you wrote the book. Okay, here, this 30 days with us.
You're not going to hold my hand. And
After 30 days, I'll definitely let you go, but I'll check up on you and say, okay, this is going on. Or what awards. So because then you can end up winning awards like myself. And I always tell people I don't want you to be like me. I want you guys to be better than me, because I put in the work. Whoever published books before me, they didn't. So my first book was published by a friend of mine, which is Daughter of a King Publishing. Okay. She's actually from the hood itself. She doesn't live here anymore. She lives in Atlanta. Okay. Right? So I respect her, Farah. Now I have to either stay with her or grow. So even when you publish with me, is grow from it. Because I painted this yellow brick road. Now just continue to lay bricks and make it better. Because I get tired, Corey. I get tired some days. Yeah. So I don't mind.
Okay, amazing. So talk to me about like the marketing aspect of a book, because that's a totally different field. Like, how do you even go about marketing or letting people know this book is what you need?
So definitely, especially if it's you're telling your own story, is okay. So for me, I put my books in. I reach out to doctors. I reach out to therapists. Ooh. Right. I still give back to my homeschool. Shout out Brookview and Westview. Well, I'm a wildcat. So I reach back into your community, because you never know who's going through the same thing. Talk to them about it. I have a writing program for youth in Driftwood Community Center. Amazing. So that's a marketing aspect. Social media is wide. So you want to just narrow down on the niche, like
go deep,
like hashtags, or there's a whole different book community, authors community. So you just want to again, use Google, use your phone, and get into those kind of events, those kind of parties. Okay. Right. So that you can market yourself. So if you can have a conversation with your friends about the book. Your friend doesn't know, but they're just going to congratulate you. Yeah, Corey wrote the book, whatever. But then after that, what? So if you're around more authors or more writers or more publishing people, then that's a way of marketing yourself too. Okay. Even doing story time on YouTube, I see some. I don't do it, but a lot of authors do it. They read their books or other people's books as a marketing strategy, and then reaching out to your local newscasts, local newspapers, and just getting yourself out there. Okay. I had a billboard, for crying out loud.
Jeez. Okay, let's talk about that. How did you get that billboard? Because I've been thinking about a billboard for this podcast.
Hit me up. You talk off air. We can't talk everything on air. Yeah. But that billboard was gifted to me. Okay. Well, at a discount. Amazing. At a discount, it was gifted to me for what I was doing in the community.
What's the regular price, if you don't mind?
Between 24 to, it depends on location and the size, of course.
And what's the durations like?
So 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. So if you get a billboard and you're there for 3 weeks and no one doesn't buy the billboard until that time, then it stays up there. But so that billboard can't be empty. Okay. So so you might be up there for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, until someone buys back that billboard space.
And how did you go about, where was your billboard?
Jane and Finch.
Okay, so it makes sense.
Where else would it be? Yeah, it was in the heart of Jane and Finch on one of the plazas.
So it makes sense. And for the people that knew you're familiar with you, they're like,
exactly. So we had a big, well, not too big, but we gathered in front of the billboard. We did a video shoot out there. And I can honestly say that billboard brought me a lot of clientele. Really? Even the store owner that was under the billboard, he's like, my daughter's been writing to write a book. And I'm like, hit me up.
Oh.
I gave him a discount because,
Yeah.
I created havoc under his store. We were there till about 9:00.
Yeah.
We wasn't quiet.
Yeah. So the billboard is one thing, but what I'm thinking about now, that like just that duration that your billboard was there, that created hope too.
Yeah, it definitely did. It definitely, and that's one thing with me is I want the kids in the community or young adults to know, even the adults, we're from a place where we weren't supposed to make it. Mm-hmm. If I can, been to jail, have my own charges, have my own business that failed, came back to, yes, I was a college graduate. I'm a single mother. I be black. And if I can, anybody can.
Bars.
That's it. It's that simple, but you have to put in the work. A lot of people want it to be handed out, or you got a link and you got a link. All links break.
Yeah.
So no, I never got a link. My link was me getting up, giving thanks, and putting in the work. And I had to put in the work daily. I'm writing a book right now.
And will be book number?
No, it's actually, we stepped away. So book number 3 is actually a movie.
You're creating a movie?
Yeah, it's Jane.
Jeez, let's go.
You have to cast. Okay, if you don't have to cast, but yeah, there's casting. We did a soft casting call for Jane.
Okay.
So we were trying to make Tiff.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be rushed.
Yeah.
Even though shout out Frosty, who's behind the scenes, I'm like, no. So I just shut it down to say, this will be out for next year.
Okay.
Because the timeline.
Next TIFF or?
Yeah, next TIFF, which is in September.
Okay.
But when we started this, it was like in May. And to do casting, and I'm picky.
Yeah.
So,
and you're hands-on.
And I'm hands-on, and I still don't know, because I can't reach Vivica Fox. Because I want Vivica to play me, and she's not answering my messages. So I still haven't found someone to play younger me or older me. So I'm like, no, we're not doing this. I'm not gonna have anything rushed. And I already have emails from Crave and
oh geez, that's big.
Yeah,
that's big time.
Thanks. So and I'm Amazon Prime. So it's just for us to get it done. So no, Chronicles of Jane, part 3 will definitely be filmed. So we stepped out of the box and do I do the reveal here?
Yeah, why not? We're on Black is the New Rich. Let's get it.
Yeah, I need a yeah. So I'm starting. It's a short story series book.
Amazing.
And it's do I drop the title?
Black's New Rich.
It's basically the Jane. I don't remember the exact, because I changed 2 titles. Hold on.
Go ahead. Take your time. I'll wait for this.
This is bad that I have to do this. Well, actually not that bad. Because I changed the title twice. And then I'm like, do I like that title? Because I didn't want it to be the same as like what Chronicles of Jane was. So it's basically, it's behind the mask of Jane and them. I didn't even have to look. I just had to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's coming out.
That will be out for your stocking stuffers for the holidays.
Okay. Amazing. So you're in the midst of shooting a movie. How do you take that idea to real life? Like, where do you start? Like funding and stuff like that. How does that work? So
again, shout out to Frosty. So he gave me some excellent grant writers.
Oh, perfect.
So he took care of that. I was willing to fund it on my own, and he's like, wow. No, you're not gonna do that.
Use everyone else's money.
So yeah, and then casting, like it was. I got so much feedback from the city who just wanted to be like, we want to be in this movie. There's no way you're leaving me out. And I didn't want to be biased and be like, okay, just my family or friends.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of, and there's a few heavy hitters. We're not giving that away, but there's a few that came from like other parts of Canada that want to be a part. And I was just like, okay, therefore we're not pushing this. We just have to scale back.
Okay. So you're taking your time.
Definitely. Because we already know it's going to be great.
Yeah. Where are you in the process now, if you can?
So in the process now, we're going to, we're just scaling, going back over the people who came up for casting. And now we're looking for places and wardrobe.
And Vivica Fox. Send her
Vivica.
Tell her
pull down my glass with that. Vivica, hey girl, just answer me. It's gonna be a movie. You don't want to miss out on this.
Okay. All right. So you have an initiative called Library Behind Walls.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. What is it about? Where did it start and where is it going?
Okay. So Library Behind the Walls is with me and my sister friend. She's also an author. Glows. So what we do is we collect books, and it's also with Literacy of Change. So they have a program inside the South Detention. They were crying for books. They were just reading newspapers, and most of the inmates want to read something they can relate to. So Glows and I came up with the concept of just our own books first, and like people that we knew that wrote books in the city. Some people who actually been in the Toronto South who became authors.
Oh, wow.
So we collect books, and then every 2 to 3 weeks, we drop them off to the South Detention, and they get to read them. The year before that, I got, shout out to my lawyer again. I was able to go to Vanier and do the same thing. So Vanier was actually the girl jail that I was at.
So it's like a book drive. You collect books from everyone.
So I just put it up on my social media, and we have a meeting spot. They drop them off to me, and then I wait. So I pick up books once every Tuesday or every Wednesday a week. We have a meeting spot. You drop them off. If you can't make the meeting spot, then I can see where we can meet in the middle, and then I drop them to the jail.
Okay, let me know. I'll make an announcement about it too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. What has been your biggest loss this far, and how'd you bounce back? One that you can talk about.
My biggest loss is Andre, which is my son's best friend, but he's also like a son to me. And losing him, I'm like, there's no way. And it came to reality probably like a month ago that when it was my birthday. So my birthday is Brit Gala, and you have to dress. So men are in a suit and the girls are in a tall dress. And we measure because the dress has to be under the knee, at your ankle, or sweeping on the floor. So to see the young men really dress up for years, we've been keeping this for about 4 years now, and him not attending is when I'm like, okay, I have to go harder because I have to bounce back from this loss. So that was a big loss.
And it was your son's best friend.
It's my son's best friend. So, but he's like my son too, right? And then I had my own tragedy loss. And I'm just like, it was like loss after loss after loss. And I'm like, I'm losing too much people around me. Right? So how do I fill those voids?
And how do you process that?
Sometimes I just like hold a meds. Like I'll just stay by myself, definitely. And then like it might sound weird, but I open up my MySpace. Yes, I still have my password for my MySpace.
Oh, that's crazy.
I can show you. Because MySpace was like the first social media.
Yeah, it was.
And funny enough, who built my MySpace actually passed away too.
So you have the messages and pictures.
So I have exactly. So those messages and pictures never came over to like Keek or Instagram or Facebook. So I just find when I'm in those dark places, I just really go back to those times when at that point in my life, like everybody was alive, everything was well, and everything was, you could say, was Gucci and Prada. A little bit of Fendi. It was an okay time that I felt in that moment I can go back to. And other than that, I just talked to my dad. My dad's my best friend. So
amazing.
If my dad calls me 36 times a day.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
What advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
Ooh, 20, I was doing a lot though. 20, I was already a proper big one. I was doing a lot. I had a condo at 20. 20, what I would tell myself at 20 is no matter what they say, they're really fans. Don't take it so personal. Honestly, I think in my 20s, my clapback's still strong if you pull the right string, but then it was clapback after clapback, and it was a waste of energy, and it created a lot of enemies for no reason.
Wow. Okay. Big one. When it's all said and done, what type of impact do you want to leave?
Definitely my impact on the world is believe in yourself. And if you can't, go back to yesterday when you could.
Elaborate on that.
So you had the time yesterday and you didn't. And now today's it's never too late, but today's never the other day. So just go back to whatever you had to do yesterday and you didn't get it done. Sometimes you just take that step back and just get it done.
Jeez, I like that one.
Being here, I have a lot of things to call a lawyer and get these things.
Yes. Every day is like a new slate.
Definitely.
But when does it become a time where it's just like, okay, you're playing games now? then you're just wasting too much time.
I believe I'll say this with pride. If you didn't come through COVID with nothing, it's pointless.
Pointless. That's how this podcast came about. It's COVID.
Congratulations. I appreciate that. Pointless. You had the time.
Mm-hmm.
There was enough funds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's your excuse?
Yeah.
There was no excuse. So for me, it's just...
Literally, like, I feel like even myself, like, I was doing other stuff prior, and COVID actually changed my life.
There you go.
Like, you know, like, I wasn't thinking in this mindset. I wasn't thinking my purpose, and it actually gave me purpose.
There you go.
Or allowed me the opportunity to think about purpose. So yeah, COVID is definitely a big one for me.
What's that purpose, may I ask?
For me, it's just like it's this podcast, right? It's called Black's the New Rich, and it started by the George Floyd. Remember when the neck on the thing? And I was like, you know what? Personally, I'm not a march up and down person. Black Lives Matter. So I was like, what way can I impact people in a different way? So I thought about financial literacy. I thought about mental health and mindset.
Yes.
And so bringing everybody up, bringing people like yourself on, I can then learn myself and teach our community. So that's what I felt my purpose was, is to facilitate that.
Congratulations, you're needed.
Thank
you know,
you.
a lot of people think mental health is weird, and it's real. Your mental health is first.
It is everything. And I'm still learning I'm going to be honest, I'm still learning about what mental health is. Because when I first started hearing about it, I didn't really understand it. And I'm still in that space where I'm understanding more about it, because I have such a like tough skin mentality. It's like, come on, get it done.
Yeah.
You know, so me to sympathize and empathize, like, I'm learning what that looks like now and how important it is to do that.
You just have to look in the mirror and say, you know, good morning, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get it done yesterday, Corey, but today's going to be
today's the
day, Corey. Yeah.
Yeah. Lit. Okay.
Always.
So I want to ask you 2 questions that I ask every guest.
Okay.
And you don't have to say any names, but what's the best advice that you've gotten, and what's the worst advice that you've gotten?
The worst advice I've gotten is by my community is, you're not going to be anything. So why are you even trying?
Horrible.
Horrible. Okay? I even know how to spell that. But it's horrible. End the story. The best advice was, this is not the end. Every stumble is for you to get better. We have to... It was actually said, you have to creep your knee. For no say, you can't creep you again. So that was the best advice I was given actually by my aunt.
That brings me to actually a next question. How do you deal with like your bad days or your quote unquote failures? How do you get back? What's your bounce back look like?
My bounce back is...
What are you telling yourself?
Yo, Vanya is not easy. So sometimes I just look at it like I had a bad day, but I've had worse days when I couldn't use the phone. I was told when to eat. I was told when to go to sleep. Couldn't see my kids. Couldn't see my so-called friends or friends. So if I'm having a bad day, I'm like, but I can open a window. I could bump so music is my drug. I don't drink, I don't smoke. Music is my drug. And when I was locked up, I never had that. And I don't remember lyrics, and I'm not a good singer, but my celly, shout out again, because boy, I did sing out, man. So on my bad days, I just look back and say, but I'm coming from hell. Jail is hell. So sometimes I just take a shower and pack it in and be like, okay, you know, I'm going to my bed early. We'll try this again tomorrow.
Okay, amazing. So on this show, we like to make predictions.
Ooh. Let's hear.
And you have a lot going on right now.
Yes.
You have a lot going on, and I'm even more meeting you. I'm more intrigued to follow your journey.
I'll be back.
100%. So I want to play this back in 5 years. And I want to say, Kamelah, she did that. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years, definitely having brick and mortar publishing.
Interesting. Why brick and mortar though? Because everything's going digital.
Let me tell you why now, Corey. I'm going to lean back for that one, yeah? Here's the vision. Let's close our eyes together. Coffee downstairs. A bookstore downstairs. Publication is upstairs. The studio is upstairs. So it's basically a one-stop shop.
It's a hub.
it's a cub of a hub. Right? And I feel like, so Starbucks on a different level. A Starbucks or Chapters, you know how Chapters has Starbucks in it, but this is more unique, you know, because I have the interior design, so it's like
an ecosystem.
Exactly. So yes, you can come in like a library. Yes, you can come in to get your little mint tea. Come on, I just sell coffee, you know, like a mint tea, like a porridge, like a something. Then if you want to publish, you know, you can come upstairs.
Amazing.
And publishing doesn't always mean like writing a book, because you need an Audible to go with the book. So then me having to do those things, yes, doing it digitally doesn't always come out great quality. So why not have one spot where you can get all of that done? And then also in that building, there will be a counseling office.
Wow, amazing. And it's Black owned.
Child, you know. You know.
Yes. Okay, so let everybody know where they can contact you, all your social medias, emails, whatever you want to put out there, because honestly, I'm so happy that you came and you have a lot going on.
Yeah, I do.
And I'm very intrigued to see how this plays out. Definitely. And if there's any way that we can help you, just let us know.
Definitely. And vice versa. If anytime anybody on this platform or anybody who's listening wants to publish a book and you mention Corey, so I have to go give you a discount code now.
Yeah, gee, yeah. Put it out there. Put it out there. Black is to be rich.
Yeah, so definitely reach out. So social media is just my name, Kamelah Blair, which I had to change it to because it's more easier than, or you can type in Chronicles of Jane.
Okay.
Also on Twitter and Facebook. And there's a website, we're revamping it because we didn't touch about this, but there's the clothing line Jane Print for their apparel.
Talk about it.
Oh, so definitely it's Jane Print. Exactly what it is. It's blue. Well, I find that, so my kids do music, so they made the music for the song for the Jane Print this summer. So we have a collection. So once collection 1 sold out in a couple of days, you'll never get anything of that again.
Jeez.
So collection 2 is fall and winter, and we're working on that now. So between COJ bookz.ca or janeprint.ca, you can get the merch there, and the books are there, and the new book will be out there as well.
Okay.
The 2 new books.
Let everybody know where you can get this.
Oh, so it's everywhere. So definitely, I always keep books on hand.
Yes.
So if we're ever in the city, you could just hit me up and be like, hey, where are you today? Or if it's okay to like stop by. Because some people, when you buy the book online, it's not signed. I want to sign it and make it personal.
True.
So definitely, sometimes I do keep a little meet and greet every now and then.
Okay.
Or a book convention, you're able to purchase your book. You can bring it there and I'll sign it for you. Definitely take pictures. Otherwise than that, definitely Walmart.com, Amazon.com, and .ca, Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million. The list is long, Corey Minaga bite
Okay.
But definitely it's there. Once you search for it, you'll find it.
Wow. Amazing. Okay. Honestly, thank you for coming again. I appreciate it. You're welcome back anytime. Just hit me up.
No problem.
And we'll do a part 2. And congratulations for all that you're doing now.
I appreciate it. And congratulations to you too.
Thank you.
You're doing big things, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
And we're out.
Everything black on black. If I study that facts on facts.